Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we will do a very short video on the average directional index. So the average directional index is a little bit different from the other index that we had done. So in the other index we could understand what were the trends in the market, how the market was moving. However, it will not be here, the case here. So the average directional index does not actually show us any direction of the market. It basically identifies the strength of the existing trend in the stock market. So suppose there is a trend, a rising trend. Suppose there is a falling trend. So we can't understand that from here, okay? But however, we can understand whether the trend is going to persist or not. How strong is that trend? Is the trend very strong or is the trend very weak? So we can understand that from the average directional index. So it might seem a little tricky to you at first, but I have all the formulas right in front of you and we can do it very easily. So let's begin. First, we will find something that is the current high minus the previous high, which is very simple. So equals to current high minus previous high. So we have it here. Okay. Now the previous low minus current low equals to previous low minus current low. So here we have it. Now plus dm. Okay. This might look a little, it requires a little bit of your attention. So what it is? It basically shows us that if current high minus previous high is more than previous low minus current low, then it will give us the value of current high minus previous high. Okay. Given that current high minus previous high is positive. So it basically gives us the value of the greater of the two. So how we can see that? So we will write an if function and then we will write an and function because we have two logical tests. So first one is that current high minus previous high is more than previous low minus current low, and also current high minus previous high is positive, which is our second logical condition. Then what we will get is this value itself, the current time and this previous high itself, and if not, we will get a 0. Okay, so we have it here. So why 201.12? Because 201.12 is greater than minus 243.79 as well as 201.12 is positive. Okay, now minus dm. So what it is, it shows us if previous low minus current low is greater than current high minus previous high, then it will yield us previous low minus current low. Given previous low minus current low is positive, or else we'll get a 0. So again, we give an if function, then we give an and function, and then we see current high minus previous high. Here it will be less, okay, because as I said, previous low minus current low is more than current high minus previous high, which means current high minus previous high is less than previous low minus current low. I hope you can understand something as simple as this. Okay, if this is true, and also we have another condition that previous low minus current low is positive, that is this, then we will get the previous low minus current low, this, or else we'll get a 0. Okay, so here we have it. Now we have the true high. So true high is what? True high is very simple. We had done it before also in the case of ultimate oscillator. It is the maximum of today's high and yesterday's close. Maximum of today's high and yesterday's close. Maximum of, and what is true low? I'm sorry, true low is the minimum of today's low and yesterday's close. Minimum of today's low and yesterday's close. So now the true range, which is the true high minus true low, I'll just write true range equals to true high minus true low. So equals to true high, sorry, minus true low. Now smoothened positive DM is, we know what is smoothing because we have done moving averages. Smoothing is basically, it means uh, doing an average of the past few days. So we'll do the average of the last 14 days and we will include that day itself. So if we include if we are to take 14 days, so here is 14 and this one. So equal to average of positive DM for the past 14 days. Here it is. And this is smoothened negative DM is the average of the negative DM of the last 14 days, including that day itself. So remember, this is different for from the case of ultimate oscillator. So in the case of ultimate oscillator, when we were doing averages like that, so then we were not including that day itself. We were doing for the past days. But here we are including the day in question itself. Also, we are also including that day where we are putting the data. Okay. So average of negative DM of 14 days, including that day. Here we have it. Now the average true range equals to average of the 14 days of true range and 14 days. Now we have the positive directional indicator and the negative directional indicator. So uh, first let's find it. So the positive directional indicators is basically the smoothened positive DM by the average TR equals to the smoothened positive DM divided by average TR. And the negative directional indicator is smoothened negative DM divided by average TR. This was positive, yes. Smoothened positive average DM, smoothened positive DM by average TR, and negative directional indicator is smoothened negative DM divided by average TR, that is O16. Fine. Now we have the directional index, which is the absolute of positive DI minus negative DI divided by positive DI plus negative DI. Very simple. Let me just adjust the formulas a bit so that this is the directional index. Now we go to the average directional index, which is the average of the dx, that is the directional index of the last 14 days. So if including that day itself, okay. So 14, 12, 13, 14. Yes. Here we have equals to average of 14 days. So like since it is easier for us to interpret when something is represented in percentages, so we will just multiply it by 100. So done. So now let's just take this data for date, the positive directional indicator, the negative directional indicator, the ADX and the close price to another cell because we will be analyzing them with graphs, and make sure you paste them as values. Okay. Yeah, pasting date as values is a little problem, but yeah, rest is fine. And let me just delete these cells. Sorry, this was our data set, and we were doing from 14th May, and here we are 14th May. Okay, so let's plot it, and just it's easier to plot actually if it is for shorter dates. So I'll just choose short values. This is very short. Okay, wait. First, let us look at the ADX for ADX. We can actually see for longer periods. So insert recommended charts. Let's go to this chart. Okay, and let me just expand it. Okay, so technical analysis says that if ADX is more than 25, it indicates that the trend is a strong trend, and if ADX is less than 25, it means that the ADX that the trend in the market is a weak trend. So as you can see, the trend is 100% at 2020. Okay, so which means the trend is very strong. Whatever the trend of the market was at that period, it was very strong. So let us check what was the trend of the market at that period and why it is so strong. So we'll do another curve, and let us just do close. That is the stock prices. See, at around 14 May 2020, market was falling and then it was rising. Okay. So our ADX analysis shows that this particular trend of the market was very strong at that period. We can actually do a different kind of an analysis also using the DI, okay, the directional indicators. So I'll show you that. So we can do some trading strategies also. Like a buy signal is when the positive DI is more than the negative DI, and a sell signal is when the negative DI is more than the positive DI. So we can actually plot three of them together for short periods. Let's do it for around 32 days, for a month. Okay, see. So it is a buying signal when the positive DI is more than the negative DI. That is at these periods. When the positive DI is more than the negative DI, then it is a buying signal. And when the negative DI is more than the positive DI, that is at these periods, then it is generally a selling signal. Okay, so you can also see the close prices here. So the directional indicators, like they align at points where the so remember that the close prices are on a different scale. Okay, so when the close prices have a trend, so so we can understand from here, we can analyze differently, and also we can include the average directional index also in the same curve and show. So let me see if I can add. Let me do for four of them together. Actually, there is some problem with the scaling, so we can like remove that also. Like the way you will analyze is up to you. We can just choose like the closing prices and the sorry, you can just choose the close prices and sorry and the ADX. Remember, they are in separate scales. So here at most period, our ADX is not like more than 40. Okay, it is less than 40, and also it is less than 25 at a few periods. So in periods when the ADX is less than 25, as we can see that the trend is not very strong, so it is fluctuating. But the trends are stronger when the ADX is higher than 25. Okay, like in these periods. So these periods the trends are stronger. So the trends fluctuate and the trends change as the ADX falls below 25, and when the ADX is rising, that means the trend is more strong. Okay, so I will just repeat the interpretation. If ADX is more than 25, it indicates a strong trend, and if ADX is less than 25, it indicates a weak trend. And you can also do other kind of analysis like yeah. So we can show the smoothened. So yeah, so directional indicator is obviously the smooth. So without the closing price, we can also show the directional indicators as well as the ADX on the same graph. So let me just show you that. Yeah, it will be like this. So we can see it like uh, the gray line here is the ADX. So when the ADX is here also the ADX is less than 25 in from 24th May to 30th May, and in the rest of the period it is more than 25, but it is never more than 40. So it is overall not a very strong trend in the market, but more than 25 means it is a strong trend but not a very strong trend. Like we had seen that ADX was around 100. Okay, we had seen here like ADX was okay, one second. In this particular graph of ADX, we had seen that ADX was 100 at this point at around 2020, which is a very strong trend. So ADX is not that high here. So the trends are not very strong here. And so the directional indicator shows us that when the positive directional indicator, that is when the blue line is more than the orange line, so that is when we have a buy signal, and when the negative directional indicator is more than the positive directional indicator, then we have a sell signal. So with that, I would like to end my video for today. I hope you liked it. Thank you.